A very good evening to you. This is Prime TV News. Let's take a look at today's headlines first. President and Prime Minister open the Jaffna International Airport. Sajith Premadasa claims he will never betray the country on any condition. Bimal Ratnayaka reveals a secret of Basil. Avant-garde chairman is in custody. And in headlines overseas, British Prime Minister says a new Brexit deal has been agreed upon. And now we move on to the news in detail. The Palali Airport, billed as the International Airport, was opened today as the Jaffna International Airport. It took place under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The memorial plaque was unveiled marking the opening of the Jaffna International Airport, marking a new chapter of the civil aviation field. President Maithripala Sirisena, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and many distinguished guests joined in this occasion. The first aircraft from Chennai arrived at the Jaffna International Airport in view of the opening of the airport. Daily air operations of the airport will commence from November. The total investment made for the development of the Palali Airport is 2,250 million rupees. It consists of 1,950 million rupees from the Sri Lankan government, while Indian aid totals 300 million rupees. The runway at the Jaffna International Airport is 950 meters in length under the first stage. It gives an opportunity to handle aircraft with less than 72 seats. The airport is to be built in 3 stages. Minister Arjuna Ranatunga, Deputy Minister Ashok Abhay Singha and India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Taranjit Singh Sandhu were among the large gathering that joined in the occasion. United National Front presidential candidate Minister Sajith Premadasa has said that he will never betray the country for any condition. He made this reference addressing a public rally organized in the Nikavaratia area. Several public rallies were held in the Kurunegala district on behalf of consolidating the victory of Sajith Premadasa. These rallies were held in the Nikavaratia, Hiriyala, Dodangaslanda, Varyapola and Maho areas. Large gatherings attended these rallies. 14 Sri Lanka Freedom Party local government representatives joined the United National Party in the Nikavaratia public meeting. Many people's representatives, including SP Navina and Indika Bandaranayaka, joined in the occasion. Addressing the meeting, Sajith Premadasa said that he remembered how he and his opponent received the candidacy. His opponent was offered the candidacy, kept placed on a tray by his family members. He told the gathering that they are aware of how he received his candidacy. There were many oppositions for his candidacy, with several problems and challenges raised. Also, there were certain conditions put forward. But he said that Sajith Premadasa did not surrender to any condition. No one can subject him to conditions. He will not betray the country for any conditions. He will also not betray his motherland. Sajith Premadasa pledged to protect his country. Addressing the public meeting held in the Maho area, Sajith Premadasa said that when the strength is given to him as the youngest and as a young president, he said he wished to give a pledge to families of disabled soldiers that he would extend welfare facilities to them as his first task. Presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa paid obeisance to sacred places of worship in Anuradhapura. Sajith Premadasa visited the Jayasri Mahabodhi and engaged in religious observances. Thereafter, he paid a courtesy call on the chief incumbent of the Attamastana, the Venerable Pallegama Siranivasa Nayakathera, and received his blessings. He engaged in religious observances, offering malpahan and robes to the Jayasri Mahabodhi. Thereafter, Sajith Premadasa visited the Ruan Valley Sire and joined in religious observances. Afterwards, he called on the chief incumbent of the Anuradhapura Sri Sarananda Piriven Vihare, the Venerable Attabake Vimalananath Nayakathera. Sajith Premadasa arrived at the Isrumuni Rajamaha Vihara and received blessings of the chief incumbent Sri Sumangala Thera, the chief incumbent of the Isrumuni Rajamaha Vihara, the Venerable Matara Sri Sumangala Nayakathera. A large gathering including ministers Chandrani Bandara and P. Harrison joined in this occasion. Still on election news, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa has emphasized that he intends to build a secure country desired by the people along with explicit permanent economic policies. Another in the series of public rallies organized to consolidate the victory of Gotabaya Rajapaksa was held at the Horana Urban Council grounds. The rally, themed "A Country with a Successful Vision," was attended by many expressing support of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Several, including opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa, expressed views at this rally. Further expressing views at this meeting, Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that a group that can work is around him. He further said that this government did not give priority to national security. As a result, there was no security in the country. He pledged a secure country for the people to live in peace. He said that he was coming before the people with a clear economic plan. This economic plan is based on the people. He said that the pledges given in the past were fulfilled to the letter. The 30-year war ended in 2.5 years. Also, the country was developed and the economic situation was upgraded. There was a group with them that could work. Gotabaya Rajapaksa mentioned that these plans were presented again to the people with a leadership and a group that could work. Parliamentarian Bimal Ratnayaka has revealed of a request made by Basil Rajapaksa on behalf of their party for the victory of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He made this revelation after a public rally held in Kandy. Bimal Ratnayaka said that all candidates themselves accept that not a single main candidate can obtain 50% of the votes at the election. He said that he would wish to reveal that about 4 months ago, Basil Rajapaksa had called on one of their party leaders and said that they have only about 44% of the votes and asked whether they could get the second preference vote of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna. But he said that the JVP members do not vote for persons but only for the party symbol. As such, he said that they know they are unable to obtain 50% of the votes. If 14 million of the voters out of the 16 million voted, they believed that many of the green, blue and red have voters in the range of 9 million. There are about 5 million floating votes. These voters are election wealth. We work placing trust in them. Campaign for Free Elections has called for an inquiry whether it is with a political motive that rumours are being spread for the creation of bomb phobia. Issuing a statement, CAFE said that doubts have surfaced whether attempts are being made by certain factions to achieve benefits at the presidential election through the spread of rumours obstructing national security. The statement has mentioned that the police media spokesman had said that more than 5,000 rumours obstructing national security had been exchanged. Due to such rumours, CAFE emphasised that school children and parents faced dire difficulties yesterday as a result of rumours. A writ petition has been filed in the appeals court for the enforcement of laws introduced to the prevention of visual pollution that results in the illegal display of posters and cutouts during the election period. This petition has been filed by the Environmental Justice Centre. The petitioners are seeking for the issue of an order to the authorities for the implementation of the laws and regulations formulated to prevent visual pollution. Based on an order of a writ petition filed earlier in the appeals court, the Central Environmental Authority had formulated laws and regulations concerning visual pollution. And on other local news, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said that many parties have reached a consensus with respect to the devolution of power within a unitary Sri Lanka for constitutional reforms. In this instant, the target should be to devolve power without dividing the country. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe made it clear in Jaffna that the meaning of unitary should be interpreted as one country. The Prime Minister made these observations during a discussion held with the editorial board members at the Jaffna Udayan newspaper office in Jaffna yesterday. Responding to a query raised at the discussions, the Prime Minister pointed out that the power of taking the final decision on constitutional reforms is vested with the Parliament and the people. As such, the Prime Minister further pointed out that the constitutional reforms process should be carried forward, securing the consensus of the majority of the people. Responding to a query whether the constitutional reforms would be carried forward after winning the presidential election, Premier Wickremesinghe said that a government with a majority should be formed through a parliamentary election after winning the presidential election, carrying forward not only constitutional reforms but also economic and social reforms. Mr. Wickremesinghe mentioned that the victories achieved by the people through a minority government can be further strengthened through a majority government. The Criminal Investigations Department has arrested former chairman of Avantgarde Nisanka Senadipati at the Katunayaka airport. Nisanka Senadipati was taken into custody when he arrived at the airport early today from Singapore. The police headquarters said that the arrest was made on an order issued by the Galle Magistrates Court with respect to the Avantgarde incident. The Colombo Criminal Investigations Department is further pursuing investigations. British High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Sarah Halton, commended the government for the development work launched in the Northern Province. The British High Commissioner expressed her satisfaction with the post-war Northern Province restoration and development work. She expressed these views during a meeting with Northern Governor Dr. Suren Raghavan. The British High Commissioner expressed the support of the British government for the future development activities of the Northern Province. And now we head into the business segment. Industrial sector activity in Sri Lanka grew 2.5% in August 2019 from a year earlier, with a growth in manufacture of non-metallic mineral products. The index of industrial production of the Census and Statistics Department grew to 112 points in August 2019 from 109.3 points a year earlier. Industrial activity had also grown 3.6% in August from a month earlier. An index value over 100 means industrial activity grew compared to the base year of 2015. Food production, which is Sri Lanka's largest industry, comprising of over a third of manufacturing activity, gained by a marginal 1.2% in August 2019 to 110.4 points from a year earlier. The fastest growing industry during the month, non-metal mineral production, comprising of 7.8% of industrial activity, grew 30.5% to 138.9 points. Wood and wood products manufacturing grew 21% to 124.6 points. Manufacturing of electrical equipment gained 21% to 100.8 points. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. I'm Umayangi Vijay Surya signing off for Prime TV News. Good night.